In this video, we're going to talk about sex drive. What is sex drive? Sometimes it's also called libido. It's the level of energy, the level of attention, the level of your desires, the level of your interest in sexual activity. And what happens in my office? People come to me to complain about their sex drive, usually about their low sex drive, sometimes also about their too high sex drive, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. And what happens? When I ask them, what's the real problem? What do you feel about your sex drive which doesn't turn you on? They usually have two scenarios. The first one, they don't have sex drive they had when they were in their 20s, or they don't have sex drive they had in the beginning of relationships, or they think that their sex drive is lower than the normal sex drive among other men. Another topic is when they say that their sex drive doesn't let them live their sexual life happily. Sometimes they start to have problems with their partner because of the quality or quantity of the sex. Sometimes the sex was one of the few enjoyable activities, and when the sex is gone somewhere, they don't feel like they have joy in life again. And when we're talking about the first topic, so the topic with comparison with ourselves 10 years ago, with ourselves in the beginning of relationships, or with anyone else in the world, let's make it very clear that the sex drive is changing over life. It's changing because of the stress. It's changing because of the relationships problems. It's changing because of some trauma events. And we cannot expect our sex drive to remain the same in all our conditions. So what you need to take into consideration when you feel that your sex drive has changed. The first one, you need to understand, do you have any stress in your life right now? And if you do have stress, and this stress can easily influence your sex drive, you need to understand what you can do with it. So you can either try to eliminate the stress, or you can try to resist the stress and to overcome the stressful events. A very important thing that I would like you to know about your stresses, or about your traumas, or about whatever else. As a psychologist, I would always recommend you to be kind to yourself and be on your side when you are trying to leave the stresses of your life. So the most important thing is, when you are stressed, don't try to force yourself to have sex. Try to express some sympathy towards you. You are already under some stress. Just be kind with yourself, and it will help the stress to go away faster than if you will start to criticize you about your sex drive and about how you deal with stress. Two most important things I want you to remember: then your sex drive cannot be steady. Your sex drive is not separated from your overall life. Everything what's happening in your life can have influence on your sex drive. If your sex drive has changed, first of all, stop comparing yourself with the last version of yourself or with anyone else in the world. But it's not really practical advice because we really can't stop comparing ourselves with the world. But what we can really do, and what will be much more helpful, is first of all to be kind to ourselves. The second one is try to find a solution to the problem. So if your sex drive became lower, try to understand what could have influenced it and how you can help yourself. You can try to eliminate the stress, you can try to find professional help, you can make a medical checkup, because sometimes low sex drive can be a red flag for some of the somatic illnesses. Another thing I would like you to remember, that this image that the real man always want to have sex is a myth. The real man is attentive to himself and his partner and ready to give sex space, time, and conditions. So try to focus on yourself and help yourself. See you in the next video.